Welcome to AI Content Creator, the Moodle plugin that builds a complete 7-card learning experience from a single ChatGPT paste, designed for Australian RTOs, universities, and workplace trainers. This walkthrough takes you step by step through the full workflow, from Moodle setup through to student completion. This is the AI Content Creator activity settings form in Moodle. After clicking Add an activity or resource and choosing AI Content Creator, this is where you start. Give the activity a clear name your students will understand, for example, workplace communication skills or fire safety fundamentals. You can also set whether students need to complete all slides and activities before the module is marked done. Once inside the plugin, this is the content creation screen. Type the name of the topic you want to build a learning module for. This becomes the title students see when they open the activity. You can also add a brief description to give students some context before they begin. When you are ready, move on to select the learning mode that matches your training context. Here you choose which mode to use for generating the content. There are 4 options: VET for vocational training that maps to Australian competency standards, Workplace for policy and procedure training, University for higher education topics using Bloom's taxonomy, and PD or short courses for professional development. The mode you pick shapes how the AI structures the 7-card learning journey. In VET mode, this is where you enter the unit of competency code, for example, BSBWHS 211 or CHCCOM 001. The system uses this code to fetch the official competency data directly from training.gov.au, including the elements, performance criteria, and required knowledge. This ensures your learning content is accurately mapped to the qualification. After typing in the unit code, you will see the unit title confirmed on screen. This lets you verify you have entered the right code before the system goes and fetches the full competency details. If the code looks correct, click through to continue. The system will now connect to training.gov.au and pull in all the relevant qualification data. The system has now fetched the complete competency details from training.gov.au. You can see the unit elements and performance criteria listed here. This data forms the backbone of the learning content. The AI uses it to build accurate, mapped scenarios, explanations, and assessments that align directly with what the qualification requires students to know and do. From the fetched competency data, you now select which element you want to build the learning module around. Each element in the qualification maps to a specific set of knowledge and skills. Choosing one focuses the AI, so it generates content that is tightly relevant. The scenarios, mental models, mistakes, and activities will all relate directly to that element. Rather than generating content automatically, AI Content Creator gives you a structured prompt file to use with ChatGPT. This keeps you in control of the content quality. Download the prompt file. It includes all the context from the unit, the element you selected, and instructions for ChatGPT to generate the full 7-card learning sequence. Open it in ChatGPT and let the AI do the writing. Here is ChatGPT generating the structured learning content from your downloaded prompt. The AI produces the full 7-card sequence: the hook scenario, concept explainer, mental model, applied scenario, mistakes card, competency summary, and decision challenge. You can review what it produces, ask it to adjust tone or examples if needed, and then copy the final output. Once ChatGPT has produced the content and you are happy with it, copy the full output and paste it back into the content creator here. The system reads the structured format and uses it to build all 7 cards automatically. This is the key step. Everything you see in the final learning module comes from what you paste in at this point. Before generating, the system shows you a proposed structure for the learning module, the 7 cards it will build based on your content. This gives you a chance to review what is coming. You can see the titles and types for each card. If the structure looks right, you are ready to move on and configure the appearance and behavior settings. This is where you control how the learning module will look and behave for students. You can choose the visual theme, set whether voiceover narration is enabled, and adjust the slide progression mode. For example, whether students must listen to the full voiceover before moving on, or whether they can navigate freely. These settings apply across all 7 cards in the module. With your content pasted and settings configured, click Generate to create the full learning module. The AI reads your structured content and builds all 7 cards, complete with voiceover scripts, contextual icons, decision challenge activities, and images. Generation typically takes under a minute. When it is done, the module is immediately ready for students to use. The generation process is now running. You can see a progress indicator showing the system working through each card. The AI is building the scenarios, writing the voiceover scripts, selecting icons, and structuring the decision challenge activities. You do not need to do anything at this point, just wait a moment, and the full 7-card module will appear. Generation is complete. You can now see the launch button for your new learning module. Clicking launch opens the module and starts the audio preparation process. The system synthesizes the voiceover narration for every card using Google Chirp 3 HD. This happens automatically in the background. Once the audio is ready, the module is live, and students can begin. This is the teacher overview screen, showing all the learning topics you have created for this activity. Each topic is listed with its title and status. From here you can add new topics, edit existing ones, manage settings, and see which topics students have completed. You can build multiple topics within a single Moodle activity, giving students a complete learning journey across the whole module. Here is the full generated content. All 7 cards are ready. You can see the card titles listed in order, from the hook scenario at the top, through to the decision challenge at the bottom. Each card has its content, voiceover script, and icons all pre-populated. If everything looks good, you can launch the module straight away, or review and edit individual cards before students see it. Each card in the module has a play voiceover button. Clicking it plays the narration for that card, so you can listen to exactly what students will hear as they work through it. This is useful for checking that the voiceover sounds natural, the pacing feels right, and the content reads well out loud. If you edit the text of a card later, you can regenerate the audio for just that card. Each learning topic has an Edit Slides button right alongside it in the topic list. If you want to adjust anything, update the scenario wording, fix an icon, change the voiceover script, or add more context to a card, click Edit Slides to open the editor for that topic. You can edit any card independently, without affecting the rest of the module. The slide editor gives you full control over every card. You can edit the heading text, update the body content, change the voiceover script, and swap the contextual icon from a library of over 55 options. Changes save automatically. When you are done editing, the updated version is immediately live. Students who open the module next will see and hear the corrected content. Each card can have an AI-generated image. If the default image does not quite match the topic, click Regenerate Image. You can type specific instructions. For example, describe the workplace setting, the people involved, or the visual you have in mind, and the AI generates a new image based on your input. This lets you get images that feel relevant and contextually appropriate for your students. This is card 1, the hook scenario. It is the first thing students see when they open the learning module. The card presents a realistic workplace situation with characters and stakes, designed to grab attention and create an emotional connection to the topic before any formal learning begins. The scenario is generated specifically from your content, so it reflects the actual workplace context your students are in. Card 2 is the concept explainer. After the scenario hook, this card breaks down the core knowledge students need, presented as 3 or 4 clear insight panels, each with a contextual icon. This is the What You Need to Know card. It keeps the information structured and easy to scan, rather than presenting it as a wall of text. Students can read through at their own pace before moving on. Card 3 introduces a named mental model, a transferable thinking framework the student can apply on the job. It is presented as a step-by-step process with a memorable title, like the 3-point check or the STOP principle. The AI generates this model from your content, so it genuinely reflects how competent practitioners think about the topic. This is one of the most powerful cards in the sequence. Card 6 is the competency summary, a side-by-side comparison of good practice versus what to avoid. It gives students a clear benchmark for what competent behavior looks like in this area. The good practice column shows what they should be doing. The avoid column shows the common pitfalls. This card works as a quick self-assessment tool students can refer back to after completing the module. Card 7 is the decision challenge, the assessment card. It contains 3 gamified activities that test whether students have genuinely understood the content. The challenge opens with an introduction screen showing what is coming. Students must complete all 3 activities to finish the module and earn their completion credit. The activities are interactive, give immediate feedback, and includes sound effects and animations. The first activity in the Decision Challenge is a scenario quiz. Students are presented with a workplace scenario and must choose the correct response from 4 options. Correct answers get a satisfying confirmation. Incorrect answers shake and bounce back, giving the student another attempt. The questions are based directly on the scenarios and knowledge from the earlier cards in the module. The third activity is a category sort. Students drag behaviors or items into the correct categories. For example, good practice versus avoid, or safe versus unsafe. Items animate in one at a time. Incorrect placements shake and return, encouraging the student to try again. A streak bonus rewards consecutive correct answers. The sort is built directly from the competency content in the module. This is the completion screen. When a student finishes all 3 challenge activities successfully, they see a congratulations message and a confetti celebration. The Moodle gradebook is updated automatically. The student receives full completion credit without any manual marking required. The whole journey, from the hook scenario to this completion screen, delivers a complete, assessment-ready learning experience.